Finally.
Let's talk to Cowboys quickly. Cowboys are the hottest team in the NFL right now, riding a 5-game win streak, but just a few weeks ago, not hot. They were 3-5 with rumors swirling about firing their coach and making a quarterback change this offseason. Jerry Jones says this team is motivated by those early season struggles. Take a listen.
When you've had the downs or when you've had the type season we have, it's almost like in life, growing up without any money or growing up in lesser circumstances. Once you've tasted that feeling, it makes you appreciate and makes you not want to go back there. And this team, fortunately, has had real challenges early this year. We have lived to tell about it.
All right. Hello, everybody. How are you doing tonight? Okay, so let me change up here. I don't want to leave first things first. Screw those guys, because they always hating on my Dallas Cowboys. Guys, it's Friday night. We've got a huge... Damn, I'm just messing up all the way around. It's Friday night. And I just got paid. No, I didn't get paid. That's next week. It's Friday night. We have the Colts on Sunday. And here it is, the stinking NFL. I got to throw the challenge flag here. Zeke Elliottt is fined $27,000 for lowering his helmet. The very first time they have called that penalty on a running back. Now, I got to be honest, because here's what we've been hearing all week long is the Dallas Cowboys stole the game. They shouldn't have won. The refs were paid off. All the calls went their way. Hold the phone there. I know you're not talking about the Dallas Cowboys getting screwed over by officials after the catch, no catch. Come on now. They go through the book, I think, on Saturday. Let's find... Oh. Chaz Jewell with the super chat. Thank you very much. You'll be at the Indy... Oh, Chaz, you'll be at the Indy game, man. Man, take some mojo with you, Chaz. Please take some mojo with you. We want to make sure we get this victory. We win the NFC East, and we are done. I am animated tonight. I am really ticked the hell off with this stuff. Okay, look, let's think about this. The best marketing thing that Zeke Elliottt did was actually jumping into the Salvation Army. Do you know how much money that raised for the Salvation Army? Here at Christmas time last year, the fact that he put Dak in there, they're going to, let's charge him, $13 million or whatever it was. Come on, man. Come on, man.
The reason we do a celebration is because of Zeke Elliottt going into the kettle. The reason we have it, there we do a celebration.
And now, you're going to call lowering the head, he's being too rough on them. Zeke Elliottt, no, don't hurt people, Zeke. He is getting pounded. Oh, let me get open for business. Thank you very much there. He is getting pounded and pounded and pounded. Oh, yeah. I make keto pizzas on big portobello mushrooms that are the bomb, man. In fact, you eat one of those things, man, you'll be like, damn, this is good. But, yeah, actually, I had fajitas tonight, like a fajita salad and stuff. I just haven't had time to do the video. Ooh. Super chat from William Rivers. Thank you very much. When you do a super chat, I appreciate it. Make sure you leave a question so that way I can be sure to answer your questions as well. What's crack-a-lacking, Mark? Man, this whole Zeke Elliottt fine. Brother can't get a break. Now, it's bad enough that you ended up literally taking his life and putting it on hold for almost a year and a half, and then you suspend him for 6 games, the highest or longest suspension ever for domestic violence to a man who was never convicted, tried, or even arrested. And I know everybody will say, you're just crying. He's a wife beater. Well, you know what? There are some wife beaters that were out there playing that they decided not to even investigate. Reuben Foster was arrested 3 times, yet he was still able to play till finally he had an incident at the hotel the night before a game. Come on, man. And now Kareem Hunt, dude was still playing, and it turns out there was not 1, but now 2, but 3 incidences. And they said, that's okay, don't check it out. But Zeke Elliottt, don't lower the helmet. Zeke, you're a criminal. We want that cash. Barry Church, yes, Barry Church was released. Here's the thing that's kind of interesting about big name free agents and what happens a lot. What happens a lot with big name free agents are they have about a 2-year shelf life. Literally. They get signed to a big contract, they get paid, but generally speaking, by 2 years, they are out. They're gone. They're done. And right now, you look at what's going on with the Jags, the Jaguars, they're hurting. The Jaguars are a mess. Their coach may be fired. They're going to be getting rid of a lot of guys, and it's sad. It's just, I hate to say it, but it's a dumpster fire. And for some reason, I keep losing. Hang on for a second here. I keep losing my, let me change Wi-Fi's here. I keep losing my, I have 3 computers that are all hooked up together. Some of them are on Ethernet and all that. So what happens sometimes is, because there's so much going on, that I'll lose one of the computers in there. And Mr. Truckee with the super chat, thank you very much. Helping to grow the nation. Mr. Truckee, I appreciate it. Do I think the NFL is going to let that ride? No way. Mr. Truckee, man, this stuff is driving me crazy, man. They just won't let. We get calls for things that nobody else gets called for. And then after the fact, they say, you know what? Maybe we were wrong on that one. They changed the rules on the catch, no catch now. You look at where we were called in the playoffs for 12 men in the huddle, even though we didn't actually have 12 men in the huddle. And they came back and said, oh, well, he never did go in the huddle. Oh, well, too bad, Cowboys, you lose. So we did get a break. I will admit it. We did get a break on that fumble to begin with. Dallas Diehard with a super chat. Thank you very much. Here's what's crazy. From time to time, again, listen, I go around the country with Joe Boo, okay? I made it originally because an Eagle fan said to me that Dallas Cowboys suck so bad that not even Joe Boo could help them. So if you want to blame somebody for Joe Boo, Eagles, look at yourselves in the mirror. You are the reason why Joe Boo exists. And since I've had him, these are probably coincidences. But sometimes strange things happen. Something Stupid Inc. Thank you for the super chat. Do I think the Cowboys can be a threat in the postseason versus teams like the Rams and the Saints in their home? Oh, okay. Dallas Diehard, what's up? I used to sell shirts, but I don't have them anymore. But I'm going to set up a site where you'll be able to order them directly, and that's one of those things that I need more time to get to. Do I think the Cowboys can be a threat against the Rams and the Saints in their homes? Well, here's what I look at right now, and you're going to call me crazy. And yes, I do still use both channels. Because of the YouTube Illuminati, they basically think because I post a lot, because I'm always talking about the Cowboys and there's always stuff going on with the Cowboys, I use both channels. So I live stream pretty much on this one. The other one, basically, I put all of the stuff that's going on, breaking news during the day on in there. And that way, I'm not posting so much where the YouTube robots, the Terminators come after me. And I actually do think we can win against the Rams or the Saints on their home turf. Because I'm going to tell you, in my mind, I think both of those teams have actually peaked. You may say I'm crazy, but here's the thing. Defenses have stopped those two guys. The Rams, over the last 5 games, 3-2. Who did they lose to? They lost to New Orleans. New Orleans has a defense that will hit the quarterback. And they lost to the Bears, another tough defense. They had a great offense, but their defense has not been slowing people down, which is amazing when you think of the people they have on that defensive line. You know, Aaron Donald is on a whole nother planet. You got Sue on that line. And so, yeah, I think that those guys actually peaked. I look at New Orleans, after we played them, they won this week against Tampa Bay, but they only scored 28 points. 28 points against Tampa Bay. Remember going into the game where they said, oh, there's no way, even though Dallas Cowboys have a great defense, there's no way that you're going to keep the Saints offense from having, at least 4 or 5 touchdowns. Well, we were the number 4 rated defense going to that game. Tampa Bay ain't got a defense. They're 27th in the NFL. And you only scored 28 points against them? To me, that says the Saints have come back down to earth a little bit. That pounding that they put on Drew Brees has got him slowed down a little bit. So, yeah, I think we've got a good shot over there against them. But now, back to that penalty. I always say sometimes strange things happen with Jobu. And when that fumble happened, I said, oh, my God, Jobu, that's a fumble. That's a fumble. And I'm sitting here thinking, how the hell did we fumble on our 15-yard line to start this game? We can't lose this thing. I said, if we lose this thing, they will run me and Jobu out of town. They'll tar and feather us. And then I started thinking, later in this week, something that was kind of weird. And again, this may be a coincidence. But that fumble was towards the Cowboys bench, that side of the field, on the 15-yard line. The exact spot I had Jobu on the sidelines at, the 15-yard line. And right behind us was the replay booth. I don't know if Jobu had anything to do with it or not. I'm just saying. Coincidence? Maybe. You see the Cowboys in the NFC Championship. Well, God. There's an old saying, don't count your chickens before they hatch. We have as much talent as anybody. We're getting healthier. We're playing well. Right now, we're one of the hotter teams in the NFL. If we go out and destroy the Colts, you got to look and say right now that the Cowboys may be the best team in the NFC. Doesn't mean much the following week. The NFL is a week-to-week league. You can look at 2016. Dak and Zeke, they were the bomb. Home field advantage. You had the Green Bay Packers beat up. Jordy Nelson left his spleen on the field. Offensive line in shambles. Defense hurt. But they came to our house where we had been hot and kicked our butts. And that was a repeat of 2014. So don't get too far out there because things can happen. Yes, Jonathan, Zeke's fined $27,000 for lowering his helmet because he is a danger to NFL players out there. Damn, Zeke. Leave those D-backs alone, you beast. You're so mean. Mr. Truckee with the super chat. Here's the thing. Okay. In case you didn't know it, I'm superstitious. Okay? If we win, I'm doing the exact same thing that I did the week before. If we lose, I'm changing things up. After we lost to the Titans, you guys might remember Joe Boo laying flat out on the table. You might remember him having a bag over his head because he was embarrassed to be a fan. He was still there, but he was embarrassed. And I said, no more rum for you, Joe Boo. You're not doing it. You're not earning your keep. But then we won against the Eagles. But I've kept him on the wagon except for Sundays because that's where I want to release the beast in Joe Boo. So no refills during the week. Only refills are game days. And I don't think he liked having the bag over his head. Now, like I said, you may think that I'm crazy, and maybe I am, but I believe what I believe. Interesting match, yes, and T.Y. Hilton does not look like he is going to play, which will definitely hurt them. Earl Thomas next year. At this point, actually, I don't think so. Because your reasons for bringing Earl Thomas in were because of this season you did not have experience. You did not have depth. You were worried about Kevon Frazier, and he had that blood disorder and stuff, and then he got a concussion. You were also worried about Xavier Woods. You know, Xavier Woods still didn't have any experience. And then, of course, Jeff Heath. Are you sure about Jeff Heath and his angles? Well, Jeff Heath took math classes in the offseason, okay? He got better with his geometry and his angles. And dare I say, has a little bit of Charlie Waters in him now. Xavier, who's always laid the wood. Oh, okay, hold on here. Xavier, who's always laid the wood. Where is, okay. Don't know why it's on the other one. Something Stupid Incorporated with the Super Chat. Let's see. Let me try and see if I can get him back. Hold on here. Got Law Nation calling in, if we can get it. I don't know why it's on the other computer and not on this one. That's weird. Hold on for a second, guys. Okay. Let's see if we got it there. Law Nation in the house. What's happening, man?
My brother from another mother, man. What's good with you, fam?
Man, I'm mad as hell. Damn it.
What you mad about?
I'm mad that the NFL fined my boy Zeke Elliottt $27,000.
Oh, man, they just want to stick it to the champ, man. That's what it is.
No. They going to micromanage my man Zeke Elliottt, okay? They're going to micromanage every aspect that he does. We got a Kareem Hunt. Shh. No, we're not going to investigate him. We're not going to look into him, right?
Right.
We're not going to look into Reuben Foster and those guys, right?
Right.
But Zeke Elliottt, he is a danger to cornerbacks out there because he's lowering his head. Come on, man.
It was the Detroit Lions game. The guy lowered the crown of his helmet into Jeff Heath, and I'm still waiting on that fine. I'm still waiting on that flag, but they swallowed the flag. They swallowed the whistle. They swallowed everything, but they didn't want to throw that flag on Jeff Heath. I think his name was Kerryon Johnson. Go back and watch that game for those who in the chat box.
Yeah.
The NFL trying to find a way. If Zeke Elliottt do jaywalking right now, he's going to get suspended.
But not just him. You know, it's crazy because, like I was saying to fans, shout out to everybody who's in here. I see Swaggy D, I see D Will, I see Rusty, I see Dallas Die Hard. I saw Miss Sarah in here. I know Miss Jackie's in here, and better not mess with Miss Jackie.
Better not.
But it's crazy because they go through the rule book on Saturday and say, let's find a something that they haven't called before. And let's call it on the Cowboys. We always have new things called against us that's called against nobody else. I don't think they've called lowering the helmet on anybody else. In fact, that we got a fine for that. Remember 12 men in the huddle?
Right.
It's been called twice only in the NFL, and both times against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, indeed. We got to figure out a way to beat we're playing against two teams every Sunday and every Thursday and every Monday night. We got to play against two teams, the Zebras and whoever else that we playing against. So this weekend, Cowboy Nation, we're going to be playing against the Zebras and the mother effing Colts.
Well,
that's PG-13,
Brian
right?
Is asking my thoughts on the Colts game. I think the Cowboys, I think they're hungry. I think that they like to be in that spotlight. I think they like winning, and I think they're hungry. And as Jerry Jones was saying, that once you get a taste of success, you want more. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel. T.Y. Hilton's not going to be there, and I know everybody's saying, well, look at the Colts, man. The Colts have been hot lately. Yeah, well, okay. Look at the people they played. And have they faced the hot boys in that defense?
Nah, they lost to the freaking Jets of all teams. So I think that we can give them the best match out there. And then on top of that, we understand what the coach going to try to do to us. And then they try to play that little game because last week I was listening to them and they were saying that T.Y. Hilton is not going to play. He's not going to play. Then all of a sudden he laced him up on Sunday and he was out there balling. So I'm going to still think that T.Y. Hilton is going to be out there this weekend.
Yeah, okay. Well, how do you feel about the game? I mean,
Zack
every
Martin
week
out,
they
right?
keep saying that, well, this could be the letdown, okay? That, this is the trap game and so on. The Colts have a lot more to play for than we do. I mean, basically, all we have to do is win one more game and we've got the division, and it may not even take that. I mean, we could technically, I think, lose out, and as long as the other guys that lose at least one game, then we've won.
It's crazy, man. It is freaking crazy. You can say it's a trap game, but everything, the writing is on the wall for us to perform horribly, right? But I think that my brother from another mother, no other, don't look like Danny Glover, Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain, he will rain down on them. But although the cards that he's dealt with, and I know that a few segment of Cowboys fans would not listen to what we were saying right now. They would not listen.
Go ahead.
Look, you're going to have Zack Martin out, right? So there's going to be a backup in that position. And I'm not making excuses. You're going to have Joe Looney in there, who is a backup, right? And then you're going to have the Xavier kid who have an ankle issue, but he's going to be playing. And it's already 50-50 with the Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
So it's already drawn up and designed for us to fail. But watch this. Watch how Dakota Prescott Rain, however you want to call him, watch how he rise up to the occasion. And I know that a lot of people going to be saying, Mark, we just homering this thing up. But watch. Sit back and watch.
I'm forever. You know what? I got to tell you, okay, this is not to toot my own horn, but damn it, I'm going to toot my horn. Because I had so many. You guys remember the Eagle fans? Do you guys remember all those that lived in here telling us how much I'm sorry. Mr. Truckee with the super chat. Helping the nation grow. We appreciate that, Mr. Truckee. And William Rivers with the super chat. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm sorry. I was looking up something else in here. I'm multitasking. Believe it or not, it's crazy because I'm actually looking at 3 different computers, carrying on a conversation and all that, and trying to do all this because I was double checking on a stat. But Dak, can you believe that he is the FedEx Air Player of the Week?
No, I can't believe that. No, not him. He can't pass more than 5 yards.
But here's what's funny, because he was been getting killed. You saw me at the game, and I did a video with these guys that were behind me. Instantaneously, we just had a comeback. Or not really comeback. We never were behind, but we had 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and overtime to win the game. We're talking about hitting Amari Cooper there on that where they changed the play. Now, was that like Amari Cooper throwing the ball to himself in there? Because I believe that was pinpoint accurate pass, and it was beyond that dink and dunk range, right?
Right, it was.
But everybody's saying that, and I get it. He had a fumble, had a couple interceptions, but he gathered himself together to explode for 455 yards. But everybody says, oh, well, that's just because of Amari Cooper. Even my own son's over here. Well, Amari Cooper makes Dak a whole lot better. Well, yeah, you think so when you got some talent out there.
That's true.
Put it like this, and I'm going to dig down deep into the grave of the people's minds, right?
Digging deep now. He's going deep.
The amnesia fans that we have out there. Who was Terrell Owens before he came to the Dallas Cowboys?
T.O.?
Yeah. Who was he?
He was a guy that's
bad Mama Jamma, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was
bad Mama Jamma. So didn't he, quote unquote, make Tony Romo, or Tony Romo made Terrell Owens? I'll sit and wait.
Okay.
You look back at all this.
You're trying to get some hate mail, aren't you?
How would you say?
You're trying to get no. Here, I'm gonna tell you. Oh, okay, hold on, man. I'm gonna tell you. Be careful. Law, be careful. Because I did two things this week, and my numbers dropped. Okay. One was, I said Skip Bayless is a bandwagon fan because now he's my Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Where it was 5 weeks ago, he was throwing Dak Prescott's jersey in the trash. He was throwing his cowboy hat and just storming off. And now all of a sudden, my Dallas Cowboys, and loud and proud. So yeah, I had a whole bunch of people saying, you're an idiot. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And the other thing I did, hold on, let me get to this now.
Get to it.
I brought up the 2009 Minnesota versus Dallas Cowboys in the playoff game. Because I'm sick and tired of people saying that, well, Tony Romo, if he had this team here right now, he'd won 2-3 Super Bowls. And I'm kind of like, he had this team in like 2014, right? With a better offensive line.
Go ahead.
I mean, the defense wasn't quite there, but they were second in the NFL takeaways. But in 2009, our Dallas Cowboys defense was number 2 in the NFL. We had 9 Pro Bowlers, including 4 All-Pros. 2 on the offense and 2 on the defense. And we went against the Minnesota Vikings, and we lost, I believe, 34-3. Tony Romo had 1 interception and 4 fumbles in that game. And when I put that up there, man, the hate just, if I was Darth Vader, man, I would have just taken over the whole force. Because that hate was just all over me. Because how dare you? You're just trying to trash Tony Romo. No, it's like I wasn't trying to trash Tony Romo, but I'm trying to point out that quarterbacks have bad games. And Tony Romo had bad games. There was a reason why he was known as Tony Ono.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we supported Tony Romo.
And we did. I was the first one to say, listen, things happen with all quarterbacks. You're going to have bad games. And sometimes he did not have the offensive line. Sometimes he did not have the running game. I get that. But what I'm saying is you had that guy. He had the number 2 defense. He had 3 other guys on the offense that were 4 guys on the offense besides him that were Pro Bowlers. But you didn't win the Super Bowl. But what you have to at least like is Dak can have all kinds of crap happen in the first 3 quarters. But come the 4th quarter, when you need it, he's there.
Right. He's there.
He's there. So
he's leading the NFL in those type of situations as well, I believe.
13 game-winning drives in 3 years. And here's what's funny to me. Because they always say that if you got a great quarterback, he's going to elevate the team, right? Let's take a look at, say, the Green Bay Packers. For the last 28 years, they have had an elite quarterback running the organization. Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, the bad man. So in 28 years, out of having the best quarterbacks, basically, of those 2 periods, they only got 2 Super Bowls. Think about that, right?
Yeah.
The only quarterback that seems to always is Tom Brady. Everywhere you go right now and you say you got an elite quarterback and stuff, take a look at what some of the teams are doing.
Yeah.
And
they always say it's different era.
No. Because if the be-all is that the quarterback is the only reason why you win a Super Bowl, then how come Drew Brees hasn't won one since 2009 again?
True that.
How come Aaron Rodgers hasn't won since, I forget how long ago it was. Was it 2008?
2010, I believe.
Or 2010, okay. All right, so how come those guys aren't winning one every year? How come Drew Brees actually went through several years where he was throwing for over 5,000 yards and they were like 7-9?
No, the biggest thing you can really bring up is that Matt Ryan. They had every weapon known to man around him, surrounded around him.
I'm sorry.
You can't tell me there's
choking on my coffee.
better than Julio Jones. You choking over there.
Yeah.
And Sanu and all those guys. I mean, come on now. He got surrounded around weapons.
Right.
Weapons after weapons.
Yeah.
And then he played the Piss Poor division. You get to play the Buccaneers twice a year. Come on now.
Right. And we'll take a look at that division right now. You know, they talked about the NFC East being bad. Everybody in there stinks right now other than the Saints. And you have to kind of look at the Saints and say, well, damn, Carolina's imploded, Tampa Bay stinks, and Atlanta stinks. Everybody's below 500 in there. So you kind of look at that and say, you know what, you got quite a few easy wins in your own division.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And it's horrible for us fans to have collectively amnesia. Because I can go back to 2012. You know what happened in 2012?
What happened in 2012?
And go home against RG&E.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Romo had like 3 interceptions that game. I remember but see,
forget that.
Well, but no, you know what? But what was great about that team for the Redskins was they came out and they were innovators because they were using the pistol offense. And they took RG&E and they ended up using what he did well. RG3 was not a pocket quarterback, but he could run. And once he got out of the pocket, because you were so worried about him running the ball, people were wide open. So you didn't have to make a pinpoint accurate pass. You just kind of lobbed it up over there and boom, he's wide open. He's going to get it. That was being creative. And that's one of the things I worry about our team when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Did you? I think you froze up.
We just had to run rock, man. Figure out a way to go when we get into the money zone.
Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing is the red zone, is that we've got to score. But that's where you start wondering, you know, why? Okay, if you got first down and 4, first and goal on the 4, why aren't you trying to run Zeke in there? Just pound it.
Pound it, yeah.
I keep looking at that over and over again. So many times that we have been down there in the red zone, you know, 3-4 yard line. Last year against the, Seattle, when Zeke first came back from the suspension and stuff. First down on the 4 yard line, we pass, incomplete pass. Missed it to Jason Witten. Second, I think it was a penalty, and then it was second down and goal from the 3. Passed it again. And it's kind of like, why is your default always to continue to pass the ball? You want to try and run out the clock. You want to get the score. And we just never seem to do that stuff. And I'm still looking for more play action passing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is so freaking crazy how this team looks like out there when they get to the money zone, green zone. All I wanted them to do, the offset eye, power eye, pro style set, you know, things like that. Maybe do a 12 person, a little bit more 12, or just even throw in the 22 or 23 personnel, or just do something different than outside of that off. Of course, we're going to get a false start or a hold call from Tyron Smith. I understand that. He's going to give you 1 or 2 a game. But this team need to figure out a way when they get to those areas to just capitalize and do what got you there. And 9 times out of 10, what got us there is number 21.
Yeah, Zeke Elliottt. I mean, that
need to utilize them more.
Right. Interesting question from Aloha Dude. Would you trade Dak for Watson?
That's fantasy, man. They got a good quarterback. That's who their quarterback is.
Yeah.
And we got Dak Prescott. And then at the end of the day, I know that Watson looks better right now as it relates to a total body of work and what have you. But just look at it from this: the intangibles that Dak Prescott got. And I understand that everybody's still going to be like, Watson. But why would the Texans make that trade? They'd invested in Watson. That's their quarterback. We got ours. It's crazy to us, but I understand his question. He just want to bring that out, but it's cool. But that's fantasy talk. We talking reality.
Well, I tell you what, you know, I wouldn't take him. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that Watson's bad. I mean, if you had to, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's not like you say, would you take Eli Manning or something like that? But to me, I still say that Dak has it. I can't measure it. I can't pour it out. I can't show it to you. But it's something about him that people follow him. He is a leader. And when it's money ball, when it's on the line, he's calm, cool, and collective. He can throw an interception or something like that, but you know what? He's not going to sit there and sulk and be mad about it. He's going to figure out, what do I need to do to get this thing to win? And he's never had a losing season in his career. And he's physically tough. You get sacked 9 times like he did against Atlanta and were able to get up, to me, that says a whole lot. And out here, he's not pointing fingers at anybody. He's looking introspectively at himself. And those are things that you look for, a guy who's a leader. But, you know, that's me. Everybody's going to say, well, you're just a Dak lover, a Dak apologist, whatever. All I know is the Dallas Cowboys have won 30 games in the last 3 seasons. That's averaging 10 games a year.
It is.
I mean, the only team that's done better is New England.
Right. I can only imagine if Tom Brady was on this team, minus Bill Belichick, they'd be saying, hey, is there a way that we can get rid of Tom Brady?
Yeah.
It is what it is, and people discount the coaching too. So, I mean, it is what it is. We understand that Watson, collectively, with the natural eyes of things, and we look at the passes of the ball, of course, he's a better quarterback collectively as throwing the ball. And we can look at Andrew Luck, we can look at Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan. Those are all better quarterbacks, but that doesn't always translate to wins. What hurt the NFL and what hurt fan bases collectively is fantasy football. I do not play that, and also with the John Maddens of the world and creating a player. Those things have hurt the collective fan base and free agency. For a team to trade a player to a different team, it never was thought of in the 90s or in the early part of the 90s and the 80s for you to be jumping from team to team to team to team. Look, I'm old school. Yes, I'm an 80s baby, Mark. But it's just, to me, my allegiance will always be with the Cowboys. Yeah. And I just never be a team like going against my team and be a player's guy. You know. Yeah. We see that a lot in basketball where people just say, "I'm just going for the player, not the team."
No, I can't do fantasy football, man. To me, it's just unnatural. I mean, there's no way in the world I could have an Eagle or a Redskin player. I just couldn't do it. Just can't do it. So everybody always asks me, it's like, I don't do fantasy football, man. I just live the real game and all that. So Barry Church has been released. And so people are like, man, we should go back and get Barry Church and things like that. What do you think about that one?
Well, he would know certain sectors of this particular defense because it changed. The way that Chris Richard is having players to play is different from when he played out there. The best team to pick up Barry Church will probably be the Colts. But to me, personally, if you need that depth help, why not give him a shot? You know, let him come out there and see what he can do, because we've been picking up players for left and right as far as to fill that little void. If you insert Barry Church, you're now going to have a guy that can play down into the box. When you play your single high safety look, you can sub out. And I know AB been doing a great job as Antonio Brown, but you can only imagine if you have a bigger, stronger guy who can take away or substitute and play the tight end. Yeah, I'll bring him in for those factors because he is a true box safety. So I would give him a good long look, but he would have to jump out on charts, and he'll have to build up trust with Chris Richard to even get playing time.
Wow. Angie for life. Great comment. Deshaun Watson has always had a great wide receiver. Dak has had a washed up Dez in 2018 a second or third round receiver. So he finally got a number one in Bala. Boy, I butchered that up. But true statement on that one. And that's where nothing against the guys we brought in, but they weren't really number one wide receivers. They weren't guys that were going to get separation. And we looked at how many times we saw balls that are in hands that are getting tipped up. And you didn't have a guy who could get separation you have to worry about. Amari has been everything that you could imagine. People who were thinking, that you giving up a number one for that guy. I think we might not have given enough for it because, here it is. It's funny now. Everybody is pointing fingers at who was the fall guy for getting rid of Amari Cooper. So they're finally pointing it back at the owner, saying the owner ended up wanting to get rid of him. John Gruden is like, nah, that's not me. They ended up firing McKenzie, the GM, and everything else, and trying to make him the fall guy. But they look pretty stupid right now.
Yes, indeed. Mark, can you give me the 5 losses that we occurred right now this season?
The 5 losses, Carolina was the first one.
We
lost to the Texans.
Okay.
We lost to the Titans.
Okay. That's 3.
We lost to the Redskins.
Okay.
And who else did we lose to?
Who else we lost to? Cowboys Nation. I know you guys are there.
Oh, my God. I'm having a brain fart. Because we beat the Giants. We lost to the Redskins. We beat the Eagles both times. We lost to the Texans, the Titans, Carolina. And I'll be damned, I can't remember who else.
Oh, Seattle.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Seattle. That was the only team.
So
Seattle scored the most points against us, 27 points. That's right.
Yeah. So we playing this little game on the sly. All right. So if we was to have Amari Cooper all off season, which one of those games for sure, without a shot of a doubt, we would have won? And I can just go and give out one. I can say we would have beat the Texans. But give me the other out of the other 4 games. Who would have won?
Oh, the Redskins too.
So we would have beat the Redskins the first time around, right?
Hold on. Yeah. Wait. Let's back this up. We could have beat, even without Amari Cooper, we could have beat the Texans if we had gone for it in 4th down and overtime. Okay, and got picked up the first down and kicked the field goal.
True that.
Okay, and the Redskins, had it not been for that crazy ass call, we probably could have gotten, kicked the field goal and maybe won it in overtime without him. So yeah, we definitely, I think, could have won it with if he would have been a difference maker easily in those 2 games.
Right. But so his total body of work now, and then one could argue the fact that even when he played with us with the Titans, he was still trying to get on the same page with Dak Prescott. So this season and last season, just a matter of fact, and I'm not trying to pump this thing up, Mark, but if I'm gonna just put a lot of ifs in this. If Roger Goodell's never had his hand up, Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones a-hole, and he didn't suspend Ezekiel Elliott last year.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can say we at least a +1 game, right? We at least 10-6, right? We in the playoff. Now, if you look at that and you roll it back to this year, if we would have made a play on Amari Cooper in the beginning of the year, I know things changes and things like that. They had high expectations for Amari with the Raiders. But this team could be just like I said, every year, 13-3, maybe 11-5, maybe 11-5 again this year. It can be something crazy like that. We might hit the goal. We might struck oil right here.
You know what? And sometimes, actually, when you think about it, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to get better. Because think about if we had not had 2015 as bad as it was. Okay, we wouldn't have been drafting and getting Zeke Elliottt, number 4 in the draft, right?
True that.
Probably wouldn't have lucked out and gotten Dak, or maybe we would have gotten Dak. But because we were so bad, we were able to get those guys, and that kind of changed the whole narrative. And so maybe, if we had if we had gotten, we were looking at signing. He signed for $16 million, and I think he's injured again, wide receiver. I'm having a brain fart, but we were looking at signing him. He signed for $16 million with the Rams. I think it was. Watkins. Sammy Watkins. Was it Sammy Watkins?
Sammy Watkins, yeah.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins. Can you imagine if we had ended up signing him? Do you think he would have had the same effect that Amari Cooper had? I don't think so.
Oh,
so we lucked out that we weren't able to sign that guy. And because the guys we did sign just didn't work out, we said we got to make desperate times call for desperate measures. So it was fortunate that we were as bad as we were to go that crazy to get that guy. Because let's be honest, if we didn't get him, this team is in the toilet. We are the Giants and the Redskins right now.
The Redskins, the Rams may come out of the basement.
Yeah. He's a game changer, man, and shout out to those who think on the same page that you and I are thinking. As much as we love, and I'm gonna say LOVE, Amari Cooper. Can you guys imagine if we can go back into like the history of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine Joe Montana without a Jerry Rice?
All right.
Troy Aikman without it, Michael Irvin.
Mm-hmm.
These things.
Roger without a Drew Pearson, who should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, sure. Belongs in there. Yeah, Drew Pearson. We need to start that petition. Anybody that know how to create those petitions, put it together, and I will support it. Our advertising for free 99.
There you go.
Look, we need to have a petition to put Drew Pearson in the Hall of Fame and also Woody.
There you go. Amen on that one. All right. Okay. We're gonna play a little game here.
All right. I love games. Come on.
Last year, Derek Carr. Okay, hold on. Calvin Williamson with the super chat. Thank you very much. What's up with David Irving? I wish I could tell you what's up with David Irving, Calvin. He's dealing still with family issues and things like that. We keep waiting and getting excited about David Irving and stuff, but time's running short. I mean, unless you've heard something that I haven't heard.
Yeah, David Irvin. He's this guy. He's this type of guy. He's Christmas time. He's the Easter bunny. He's the Halloween guy.
Damn.
He comes around, seasonally, And I understand that everybody talking about family issues and football is just a part of life, but it is nothing to do with personal things and situations like that. I would challenge anybody that's in the chat box. We got 332 people that's in here right now, including you and I, Mark. I wish we can go on our day job and say, you know what, even though you paid me over $250,000, I can't pay for this leasing agreement on my home because it's $5,000. And also, I'm not reporting to work today because my baby mama, uncle, cousin, auntie is sick right now, and I'm battling issues with my daughter, and I can't come to work today.
Okay.
Let's see how long that
I've
excuse
been
can
there.
last and you stay on that job.
Michael Anthony Fitness and his sister, okay? I was a single parent when Michael was 5 and his sister was 3 years old, and I had to take care of him and raise him. And, people sympathize. We feel bad for you that, you got to do that. But if you can't do the job, I'll get somebody else that will. So, I had to suck it up. I didn't have a boatload of money where I could just pay somebody else to watch him or anything. No, I had to suck it up and find a way. And that's what he really needs to do, is to find a way. But I'm going to go back to my original thing here, because last year in the top 100s, I remember that stupid Falcon fan that was talking about, Derek Carr is in the top 100. He's number 60. Dak Prescott, he's not in there. And I said, that whole thing was a popularity contest, because Derek Carr and Dak Prescott's numbers were identical, and they said that, Dak's year was down. I agree. Dak's year was down.
No, Mark. Before you bring home that point, you're swinging too low. You got to go a little bit further. You got to talk about Cam Newton's number and Dak Prescott numbers last year were identical. And I think they had Cam Newton at top 25, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, and Matty Ice had the same, I think, one less touchdown than Dak, touchdown passes, with Julio Jones and Sanu as receivers. But anyway, be that as it may, if Derek Carr is such a great quarterback, and if a quarterback automatically is going to make everybody else better, he can throw a guy open and do all this, that, and the other, how come in 5 games Derek Carr only had 280 yards with Amari Cooper and 1 touchdown pass? Can you explain? And we run a garbage offense, okay? Right. We run a Stone Age offense. Explain to me, because this is where you can compare apples to apples. Same player with both quarterbacks. With Dak Prescott leading the NFL over the last 5 games, with Derek Carr, who's supposed to be a better quarterback, and if it's all about the quarterback, then how come he couldn't do anything with the guy?
And we got him right where we want him at, Mark, because nobody can sneeze at the Oakland Raiders offensive line, right? And nobody can question the running back for the Oakland Raiders, who got a Super Bowl championship ring or what have you, beast mode, and everybody would kick off a lot of people off the bridge to have beast mode. And then on top of that, they have a top 10. I'm talking about a better tight end as well. So if you look at all those things surrounding the Carr, I forgot his name, David or Derek.
Derek Carr.
You got all those
They're
things
both
around.
about the same now, right?
Yeah. His mama should have named both of them David and Derek, whatever. I don't know what she was thinking. But then here or there. But the thing is with it, the Carr brother, he's supposed to be a better thrower of the ball. He's supposed to have a better vision. He's supposed to be able to throw with better anticipation. And there's nowhere, and I can find a stat that's comfortable to Dak or comparable to Dak Prescott. And then on top of that, Mark, if you look at this all together, when I posted that video of Amari Cooper's highlights, every hater of Dak Prescott was saying, "Oh, Dak can't make the throw though. He can't make that pass. He sure for the life of him would not be able to hit Amari Cooper like that." And all I'm seeing now for these last few games is that Amari Cooper is lighting it up, and it is Dak Prescott making those throws.
It's like they've got chemistry. Okay, I mean, it's one of those things. They just automatically just started clicking. And that's what we never had with Dez and Dak. They just never clicked. I don't know what it is about those two, but it's just like they are on a whole nother level. And he's only been here for 6 weeks. That's the thing that's crazy. 6 weeks. What's it going to be like when these guys work together all off season? And if they get one of these tight ends that really becomes a Jason Witten, or they find a tight end like that. And this team is so young. I mean, you got to say, okay. And if we ever get an offensive coordinator. Now, I believe what Amari Cooper said this past week was the nail in the coffin for Scott Linehan. When Amari basically said, we kept going through with the stop route. They kept sitting on it. We weren't doing jack with it. And finally I said, Dak, come on, let's go with the go route. I can get there. And Dak's like, nah, just go with what's called. And he's like, damn. And he said, Dak went ahead and finally changed that play. So what you're hearing already from Amari Cooper is we doing the same shit over and over again, which is the same thing that Dez Bryant said, which is the same thing that Bryce Butler said. It's the same thing that even T.O. said. Right?
Yeah. Shout out to Amari Cooper. He's the only one that can shut up Dez Bryant and T.O. So it is what it is, though. My thing is subconsciously, right? But my thing is with this, we already know the handicap of this team. And it's not me. It's not a good time right now to bash Jason Garrett or even to bash Scott Linehan and certain factors, But we know that, like the guy Tyson West Coast Cowboys said, just because you don't like my wife cooking, I'm not leaving her. So we have to figure out something else. So my thing is with that, it's always a funny saying because, he said he's not leaving his wife. He loves his wife cooking. So Jerry Jones, he loves Jason. Jerry Jones loves Jason Garrett, right? So my thing is, if we can probably lean on some of these rookie guys, these younger coaches that's out there from the college aspects of the world, maybe. But this is another thing that we're missing, the main piece of the puzzle.
Quarterback.
That when Scott Linehan came into the to the deal to coach the Cowboys offensive coordinator, Jason Garrett said, no, you can do the offensive coordinator deal, but you got to use my plays.
Okay.
So, and we already know come Sunday, I can guarantee you all that's in the chat box, Jason Garrett's going to wear a navy blue shirt. He's going to wear that. He wears the same shirt every time. And then at the press conference, he's going to say, how you doing, guys? So we might just be circling the wagons there. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I'm hoping we go ahead and we get this win against the Colts. And we go through and strategically rest guys like Tyron Smith and things like that and try and get everybody healthy as much as possible. Get some of these other guys some playing time and things and actually start thinking about a different game plan for the playoffs. Start coming up with some special plays, some different looks. Spend time working on some things that nobody else has seen with Amari Cooper and stuff. So that way we don't come out and just say, you know what? Because to me, Jason Garrett's mentality is we're just going to rely on our talent being better than their talent. We're just going to put a helmet on a hat, and we're just going to go ahead and power through people. And that works a lot of the time, but it don't work all the time.
I like that saying, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing this team in the playoffs. And if there's one thing, I don't even want to put it out in the universe. But could you imagine if this team went to the Super Bowl?
Oh my goodness, Mark. I've been saying this since 1995. Oh my goodness.
I just want to be at the Super Bowl covering the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, oh man. You guys,
that's all I want for
if you
Christmas.
ever want to see a grown man cry, boy. Woo-wee.
Oh my God. I tell you what, you would see coverage like you've never seen at a Super Bowl before, because I would be all over that face. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be a beautiful thing to see. I mean, I would be like Eagle fans were last year. Mm-hmm. And actually, they're still crying this year. Because it is ugly as can be. But here's what's crazy now. Here it is. Last year we were 9-7, weren't anywhere near getting in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Right now, there may be somebody getting in the playoffs with a losing record. It's conceivable.
Oh, wow. How?
There's still 26 teams are still alive for playoffs.
Wow.
The Redskins, as bad as they are. The Redskins. Green Bay.
Oh, I can't stand the Green Bay. I don't want to see them.
Even the New York stinking Giants aren't dead yet. That's how crazy this stuff is right now.
Yes.
And here it was 9-7, and I remember I think one of the Super Bowl years of the Giants, 9-7, they was what they had, and they went on and won the Super Bowl. 9-7, we sat home. This year it might be a 7-8. Or 7-9 team may go to the playoffs. It's crazy, but that's the NFL for you. So, what you got? Where are you watching the game this weekend?
Oh man, in the confines of my wonderful establishment, Law Nation's house.
Well, we are going to be actually at Lucky Sports Bar up here. We're going to be doing a live stream, and we're going to be trying to do things a little bit differently, so that way we can get all of the fans and stuff in the camera and the shots, because there's a Dallas Cowboy fan club. Mr. Truckee, thank you for the super chat and telling everybody to hit the like button. Okay.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
Now we got to do something special for the fans that are helping us here, man. So that's where we do a little echo in there for the super chats, because we appreciate all the support. But we're gonna be at Lucky's, which actually is owned by Marcus Patton, a former linebacker of the Redskins.
Right?
Yeah, Redskins, right. So we packed that place with Cowboy fans, okay? One weekend, there was a couple of former Redskin players in there, and they weren't real happy, but, I kind of enjoy that. But anybody who shows up, if you are a subscriber to the Joe Booth Sports Report, we're going to enter you guys in some drawings. We've got some great books. Thank you, courtesy of my boys Cowboys Experience. I gave you some of these, and I also have some autographed shirts that we'll end up bringing and doing drawings and stuff on the site, and you'll be able to get on camera and hang out with us and stuff, and hopefully cheer on our Dallas Cowboys as we win the division and stomp the Colts. Law Nation, I'm going to give you your final words for the night, man. Tell everybody where to find you, if in case anybody doesn't know where to find you. All
right. So everybody that's hear the sound of my voice, please check out the website, www.cowboysexperience.com. That's where you can find out a lot and tons of information about the Cowboys. It's secret access pass to players and former Cowboys players as well. My name is Law Nation, LAW. That's where you can find my podcast. I'm on iTunes. I'm also on Google Play. So just look me up that way too. I got a YouTube channel that's LAW Nation. Hit me up, Cowboys Nation. Let's get this thing going one way or another. And remember, You all are listening to Nothing But the Bass. Salute.
All right, and everybody, we'll see you guys at Lucky's. We'll start live streaming about 12:30 before the game, and hopefully everything will be nice and quiet for our Dallas Cowboys, and they'll stay focused on winning the game. I'm Mark Holmes with Law Nation, and